Welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. Sharing blood doesn't automatically mean you may get along with someone. Like any other relationship, it requires regular maintenance, and according to some therapists, more adult siblings are turning to therapy for help with each other, whether it be to resolve long-time resentments or settle ongoing arguments. Joining us to talk about it here on The Factor Uncensored, Bevan Biggers, Rashad Giles, and therapist Dr. Bernadette Smith. So Rashad, let's begin with you. What kind of issues, if any, have you had with your siblings?
I have a younger sister who's almost 13 years younger than me, and our mom passed away almost 8 years ago, and I never really acknowledged till I went to therapy myself that her experience with my mom was different than mine. So there were times when she would tell me things and I really wouldn't acknowledge them. I'd be like, oh, you know, it wasn't like that, but I really had to realize that her experience was just totally different.
So was that some form of jealousy or not being able to connect? What?
I think it was just more not being able to connect with the age gap. I moved away when she was still young, and you know, she just had a different experience with my mom than I did.
All right, Bevan, let's hear what your experience with your siblings.
Mine is kind of similar too. I'm the oldest, but I was raised way different from my younger siblings. So what seems as like I'm bitter or I'm this, they were really tough on me and way nicer, more lenient, more kind to my younger siblings. So when I left the house, I just never really just followed up. I just kind of stayed away.
Did that create any resentment for your siblings?
Absolutely, because I saw that they had better opportunities, just better life situations, and me, I'm over here like struggling, trying to figure everything out. So I do have like some bitterness. So yeah, that's just where I'm at.
And Dr. Smith, your perspective when you hear these two stories, are these typical stories when we have siblings involved where they need at some point to talk and to bring a counselor in?
Yeah, so both of the things that I'm hearing does sound very typical, especially we have to recognize everybody is getting a different version of their parent because every sibling is a little different anyway, right? And especially with a 13 age gap and being an oldest versus a younger one, a parent is learning how to parent, and then they're like, oh, that didn't work, let me try something different with this one. Or, as I joke with some of my friends, you know, the older I get, the tired I am. So I imagine your mom was pretty tired after 13 years and you weren't coming in. So there's going to be some things where it seems like leniency, some of it just changes, right? And so what then becomes important is to recognize that our parents are sometimes parenting from the same model in which they were parented from, and being able to recognize that some of the issues that we have with our siblings may not truly be rooted in our sibling truth. It might be rooted in things that we inherited just from our generations of parenting, right? Our parents, our grandparents, and so on and so forth. And so being able to give yourself the opportunity to identify, why are we having these issues? Why am I feeling this way? And how can we create new pathways for us to communicate and identify what does a relationship look like for us? Because I'm from the framework, just because we share the same blood does not mean that our bond needs to be kind of the stereotypical very tight. Because just because we are family, quote unquote, doesn't mean we need to be family, if that makes sense. And so then that goes into, what do those boundaries look like and how do we want to navigate that space?
And Bevan, it's my understanding some of your siblings reached out to you.
Yeah.
And so how do you feel about that? Are you interested now in forging a relationship?
Yeah, so I always have social media, not just to be on social media, it's so that they'll always be able to reach out to me. I said that one day they're going to reach out to me because they're going to
that was intentional. That's
I keep Facebook with my name just in case somebody wants to reach out to me. And it has worked. They do reach out to me. Like, I missed out on having a big sister in this point in time because our parents were not the greatest, you know. And I feel like parents do wedge the relationships between siblings, and they can kind of mess that up. So I let them become adults and reach out to me.
Rashad, in your case, are you open to working with your younger sister and maybe having that counseling?
Absolutely. We had a conversation about it not too long ago where I was just like, hey, you know what? I apologize for not acknowledging your feelings in those moments. And she received it, and she definitely was like, yeah, you didn't. And it made me feel some type of way. So I appreciated her for holding me accountable, but it definitely helped us move forward.
And really quick, Dr. Smith, for those who feel like they want to reach out to their family member, their brother, their sister, what should they do in the last 20 seconds we have here?
Say, hey, let's go to therapy. I want us to create a stronger bond. Let's work through some stuff because it's going to be us much longer than it's going to be our parents. So let's work this out. Let's try.
My family was going to say, who paying for it?